That's good. There we go.
Here, you want some silver balls?
Yes, please.
There are people who love Christmas,
I got stars.
and then there are people who really love Christmas.
There's just so much Christmas happening.
We have a problem.
Greg and Jen Kafalis are in the really love category. Greg was born on Christmas Eve.
You remember love's lost, love's had, love's gained. It's a time of happiness and a time of recollection.
When he was younger, he would spend his merry birthdays walking door to door, singing Christmas carols for his neighbors.
We went from home to home singing carols.
To get a good response.
Got a great response, but people were confused. Yeah, at the same time, they're like, why are you caroling? Are you asking for money? No, we're just singing.
And he never grew out of it.
Have a very Merry Christmas. Have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Greg is now a professional Christmas caroler. He and his wife Jen operate 3 performance groups in New York City.
And I'll be merry on Christmas.
In fact, the Holiday Singers just cut their first studio album, Shine.
Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad.
It may look all holly and jolly, but the life of a wandering wassailer is rarely easy.
Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer.
They often get the cold shoulder, and not just from Jack Frost. To some passers-by, Christmas carols are like visiting relatives. You're happy to see them at first,
Jingle bells, jingle bells.
but soon they wear on your nerves.
Oh, Christmas tree. Oh,
But Greg is convinced his unique tidings of comfort and joy can turn even the Grinch's ear.
Thank you. Happy holidays.
All right.
Or sometimes we want to take people out of that moment, take them back to their childhood, take them back somewhere inside of themselves and connect with them that way. And that's what we go for. Every once in a while, I'd like to have that happen. 1, 2, 3.
The season is short, rehearsals are long,
Let's try that again and center it.
and they all hold full-time jobs to boot. There are nearly 100 complex arrangements that carolers have to learn and memorize.
It's stressful. It's not, working in a mine stressful, but it is stressful.
Caroling originally had nothing to do with Christmas. In fact, during the Middle Ages, people would sing door to door to celebrate other big feasts, May Day or even Halloween. By the Victorian era, however, the tradition of carolers being given Christmas treats in exchange for singing to their wealthy neighbors was firmly in place. Hence the famous lyric, "Bring us some figgy pudding."
now bring us some figgy pudding and bring some right here.
Ready? Oh, no.
These days, Kathy Schelling doesn't expect pudding, just smiles. Each year, she and a few friends trudge through their neighborhood in Plymouth, Massachusetts,
Jingle bells, jingle bells.
offering their fa-la-las to anyone who answers the door.
Dashing through the snow.
They're almost always surprised to see somebody at their door, and it just gets us in the mood to celebrate.
Carols are sung the world over, although not always in the same way. In Greece, children go door to door banging triangles. In Australia, one version of the carol, 12 Days of Christmas, doesn't begin with a partridge in a pear tree. It begins with a kookaburra in a gum tree.
And a kookaburra in a gum tree.
The 12th day of Christmas, by the way, for many Christians, lands on January 6th, also called Three Kings Day. And that too is celebrated, especially in Latin America, where it's accompanied with a holiday cake.
When blossoms flower.
But it's the Charles Dickens notion of caroling that most of us think about, which explains why we often see carolers donning their gay apparel like this.
I hate to say it, but I like to think we're very decorative.
Later on we'll conspire.
Nathan Rhoda is co-owner of the Dickens Carolers in Seattle. He has nearly a dozen quartets wandering the streets, all Victorian to the core.
We get about 250 applications every year.
For how many spots?
For maybe 10 openings.
Even near Seattle's bustling Pike Place Market, they can bring a little heavenly peace.
We measure our success by how often we make people cry.
Really?
Oh, and it happens all the time, in the most public of places.
It happened to Carol Betcher during Oh Holy Night.
It was just completely in the moment and transfixed by them and by the music and the scene, and it was a very memorable.
Love and joy come to you.
There have also been many touching moments when you're in a hospital and you're singing for somebody in a coma, and that you actually see a response from.
Tidings of comfort and joy, comfort and joy.
We found Charlene Richardson stuck in a nursing facility this Christmas, struggling with her recent news, a brain tumor.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you. Do you have a favorite we could sing for you?
Oh, little town of Bethlehem.
Oh, little town of Bethlehem.
As the Dickens carolers filled request after request, Charlene smiled, as if she'd never heard the word cancer, at least for a while.
Not so much fun spending Christmas in here, though, is it?
No, not so much.
What did that all mean for you today?
Oh, it brightened my spirits. It was wonderful.
Sing choirs of angels.
None of it seems to get old for any of the caroling groups we talked with. Perhaps Nathan summed it up the best.
I've sung all of these hundreds of times. What makes it fresh is not how often I sing it, it's who I'm singing it for. They are the ones that make it new.
On this night, his quartet was sent to this house as a surprise from a loving husband to his lovely wife. What other time of year would anyone answer the door at night to a group of total strangers?
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
Let alone invite them in to sing.
Oh, Christmas tree.
Perhaps Christmas carols touch us so because they're like comfort food. They remind us that not everything changes. They reassure us that traditions matter. And, just like Frosty, they'll be back again next year.
Merry Christmas.
Next, when Nixon met Elvis.
You know I can be found